Decision trees are powerful tools in the world of machine learning. They are a type of supervised learning algorithm that is used for both classification and regression tasks. They offer a simple yet effective way to make predictions based on data. By splitting the data into branches, decision trees help in making decisions that are easy to interpret and understand. Their ease of understanding and implementation makes them a popular choice for both beginners and experts. Whether you are just starting out in machine learning or are a seasoned data scientist, decision trees provide a robust framework for tackling various problems. Decision trees are incredibly versatile and can be applied to a wide range of problems, from classifying objects to predicting future outcomes. They are used in various industries including finance, healthcare, and marketing, to name a few. In the realm of machine learning, classification tasks hold a prominent place. These tasks involve assigning data points to predefined categories or classes based on their features. These tasks involve categorizing data points into predefined classes. For example, you might want to classify emails as spam or not spam, or determine whether a patient has a certain disease based on their medical records. Imagine you want to create a program that can identify different species of flowers based on their characteristics. This is a classic example of a classification problem where decision trees can be particularly effective. This is where decision trees shine, providing a structured approach to solving such classification problems. They break down the decision-making process into a series of simple questions, making it easier to understand how the final decision is made. Decision trees are particularly valuable due to their interpretability. Each decision node in the tree represents a question about the data, and each branch represents a possible answer, leading to a final decision at the leaf nodes. Unlike some complex machine learning models that operate as black boxes, decision trees provide clear insights into how they arrive at their predictions. This makes them an excellent choice for applications where transparency and explainability are crucial. This transparency is crucial for building trust in the model's decisions and understanding the underlying patterns in the data. Stakeholders can see exactly how decisions are made, which is essential for gaining their confidence. In this essay, we'll embark on a journey to build a classification model from scratch using decision trees. We'll start with the basics and gradually move on to more advanced concepts. Our guide will be the famous iris dataset, a classic dataset in machine learning. This dataset contains measurements of various flower species and is often used to demonstrate classification algorithms. We'll cover every step of the process, from preparing the data to visualizing the results. You'll learn how to clean and pre-process the data, build the decision tree model, and evaluate its performance. By the end, you'll have a firm grasp of decision trees and be equipped to apply them to your own classification challenges. You'll understand not only how to build these models, but also how to interpret their results and communicate your findings effectively. Imagine you're trying to guess a friend's favorite fruit. You might start by considering the wide variety of fruits available and how different people have different preferences. You might start by asking, do you prefer sweet or sour fruits? This initial question helps you to narrow down the broad range of options. Based on their answer, you would then ask further questions, narrowing down the possibilities with each response. For example, if they say they prefer sweet fruits, you might ask if they like tropical fruits. This process of asking a series of questions to reach a conclusion is the essence of a decision tree. It's a systematic way to break down a complex decision into simpler, manageable parts. In technical terms, a decision tree is a flowchart-like structure. It visually represents decisions and their possible consequences, including chance event outcomes, resource costs, and utility. It consists of nodes and branches. The nodes are points where decisions are made, and the branches are the possible outcomes of those decisions. Each node represents a test or a question about the data. These questions are designed to split the data into subsets that are more homogeneous. For instance, in our fruit example, the first node might be, is the fruit sweet? This question helps to divide the fruits into two main categories. The branches stemming from a node represent the possible answers or outcomes of the test. Each branch leads to another node or to a final decision. If the fruit is sweet, you might follow a branch that leads to another question, such as, is it a berry? This further narrows down the possibilities. This process continues, with each question leading to a more specific subset of possibilities, until you arrive at a leaf node. Each step in the tree helps to refine the decision-making process. A leaf node represents the final prediction or decision. It is the end point of the decision tree, where no further questions are asked. Let's illustrate this with a simple example. Decision trees are not just theoretical, they have practical applications in various fields. Suppose we want to create a decision tree to predict whether someone will play tennis based on the weather. This is a classic example used to explain decision trees. The features we have are outlook, sunny, overcast, rain, temperature, hot, mild, cool, humidity, high, normal, and wind, strong, weak. Each of these features can influence the decision. The decision tree might look something like this. It starts with the outlook feature, which is the most significant factor in this example. This tree shows how decisions are made based on the weather conditions. For instance, if the outlook is sunny, the next question might be about the humidity. For instance, if the outlook is sunny and the humidity is high, the tree predicts no for playing tennis. However, if the humidity is normal, the prediction might be yes. This way, the decision tree helps in making informed decisions based on the given data. The IRIS dataset is a cornerstone in the field of machine learning. This dataset, collected by the British statistician and biologist Ronald Fisher, serves as a fundamental example for understanding and implementing classification algorithms. Its simplicity and clarity make it an ideal starting point for anyone venturing into the world of data science. The dataset comprises measurements of 150 iris flowers, evenly distributed among 3 different species: Setosa, versicolor, and virginica. For each flower, 4 features are recorded: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. The goal is to build a model that can accurately predict the species of an iris flower based on these 4 measurements. The beauty of the IRIS dataset lies in its accessibility and clarity. With only 4 features and 3 classes, it allows for easy visualization and interpretation of the data. This makes it an excellent choice for illustrating the principles of classification algorithms, including decision trees. Moreover, the dataset's widespread use means that there's a wealth of knowledge and resources available online. From tutorials to code examples, you'll find ample support as you delve into building your decision tree model. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced practitioner, the IRIS dataset provides a solid foundation for exploring the capabilities of decision trees in classification tasks. Before we embark on the exciting journey of building our decision tree model, we need to prepare our data. Data preparation is a critical step in any data science project. This crucial step ensures that our data is in a suitable format for the model to understand and learn from. Without proper data preparation, our model might not perform well, leading to inaccurate predictions and insights. Think of it as laying a solid foundation before constructing a building. Just as a building needs a strong foundation to stand tall, our model needs well-prepared data to function effectively. First, we need to load the IRIS dataset. The IRIS dataset is a classic dataset in the field of machine learning and is often used for educational purposes. Thankfully, Python provides a convenient way to do this using the scikit-learn library, which is a treasure trove of machine learning tools. Scikit-learn is widely used in the data science community for its simplicity and efficiency. With a few lines of code, we can import the dataset directly into our program. From scikit-learn datasets import load _iris equals sign load _iris. This code snippet imports the IRIS dataset, which contains data about different species of iris flowers. The dataset includes features such as sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. Next, we split the dataset into 2 parts, a training set and a testing set. This step is crucial because it allows us to train our model on one portion of the data and test it on another, ensuring that our model can generalize well to new, unseen data. The training set, as the name suggests, is used to train our model. It's like showing the model numerous examples so it can learn the patterns and relationships within the data. The more examples the model sees, the better it can learn. It's like showing the model numerous examples so it can learn the patterns and relationships within the data. The training set helps the model understand the underlying structure of the data. The testing set, on the other hand, is used to evaluate how well our model generalizes to unseen data. It's like giving the model a pop quiz to see how well it has learned. This step is essential to ensure that our model performs well on new data and is not just memorizing the training data. It's like giving the model a pop quiz to see how well it has learned. From scikit-learn.model selection import train underscore test underscore split x underscore train x underscore test y underscore train y underscore test equal sign train test split iris.data iris.target test underscore size equal sign 0, 2, random underscore state equal sign 42. This code splits the data set into training and testing sets with 80% of the data allocated to training and 20% to testing. In this code, we're allocating 80% of the data to training and 20% to testing. This split ratio is commonly used in machine learning to ensure that the model has enough data to learn from while still having a sufficient amount of data to test its performance. The random underscore state parameter ensures that the data is split in a reproducible way, allowing us to compare our results consistently. By setting a random state, we ensure that the data is split the same way every time we run the code, making our results more reliable, allowing us to compare our results consistently. This consistency is crucial for evaluating the performance of our model and making improvements if necessary. By carefully preparing our data, we set the stage for building an effective and reliable decision tree model. Proper data preparation involves not only loading and splitting the data, but also cleaning and transforming it to ensure that it is in the best possible shape for modeling. We set the stage for building an effective and reliable decision tree model. With well-prepared data, our decision tree model will be better equipped to make accurate predictions and provide valuable insights. In the next chapter, we will dive into the process of building and training our decision tree model, leveraging the well-prepared data we have just created.